Esperanza TV presents Taste and See. The story for today: God fulfilled my dreams.
My name is Mitzi. I live in Salem, Oregon with my husband and my daughter. We emigrated to the United States at a very difficult time in our lives. The situation was really tough at first because we arrived without a single penny and we had to sleep on the floor. With my little baby, we didn't have anyone else here. I remember going to the store that day to buy groceries and things we needed because honestly, we needed everything. When I went to pay the groceries, I didn't have enough money. I closed my eyes and tears fell. At that moment, a lady behind me asked, "What's going on?" "She doesn't have enough." A lady said, "How much are you short?" $150. I started to walk away from the register, but she said, "No, I'll pay." I told her, "Thank you." And I understood that God was going to be with me. Since I was a child, I raised in Seventh-day Adventist church, but when we got here, I found distant from church. I began taking my daughter to church. My mom came to visit us and started taking my daughter to the Adventist church. And my little girl really liked going to church. Pastor Samuel always encouraged us to get closer to God. One day, he called me to help in the children's department since I'm an elementary school teacher. The pastor said to me, "Mitzi, don't you want to work for God's ministry?" I told him, "Pastor, I don't feel worthy to represent God or to serve Him."
I approached her and said, "Mitzi, help us, we need someone." But she said to me, "No, Pastor, I can't, I feel bad, I'm still. My daughter, God, He is the one who accepts you just as you are, and from then on you'll see how God will start to bless you."
That made me feel accepted and made me feel loved by God. So I started teaching in a children's Sabbath school. It was there that God began to work. I started tithing and giving offerings, trusting in divine providence. I've always been a hard worker ever since I was very little, and I've always put in a lot of effort, but things never worked out for me. So I said, "God, you gave me so many talents, so why can't I carry any of them out? I don't even have income for my family." When I started working for God and began dedicating myself to Him and His work, setting aside His tithe, setting apart the portion that belongs to God, I started to feel the blessing in my life. And I remember the phrase they used to tell us as children, "Human effort plus divine power equals success." And I said, "It's true, because before I used to struggle alone, and now God is the one guiding me." Since I like to write, I fulfilled a dream of publishing my first children's book called Maya Moves House. And now I already have 2 books, Maya Moves House, about a caterpillar who traded her shell for colorful wings, and Migrant Child. We all share the same heart. Today I look at my life and I can say with certainty, I didn't grow from my failures. I grew when I lifted my eyes to the sky and sought God. After I made my covenant with God and committed myself to Him, God has opened up abundant paths for me.
I'm amazed at the way God has blessed her. She has her own business, she has her books, she's even on TV, and that's what it's all about. God blesses those who trust in Him.
I am very happy and very grateful to God. For every opportunity He gives me, my little girl sees all of that too, and always prays to God at night. After praying, I always have a very particular way of saying my prayer, and at the end I say, "Thank you, Mighty One." And my daughter, too, when she's really happy, says, "Thank you, Mighty One." She emphasizes and exaggerates it, but she also says it with all her heart. I feel blessed, living a life of my dreams with God's love. Taste and see.
Now let us prepare to be faithful to God with our tithe and offerings.